Hello. The topic I've been invited to explore today is very, very simple. And when it was suggested to me, I was thinking, well, what could I even say about it? It's so obvious, but well, we'll see what there is to say about it. So the topic is love is. It's just that. It's very simple. But what I'm invited to see is that is the truth of every situation, of every person, of every condition. And that is why all these situations occur, all these conditions are here, is for us to have the opportunity to see that we don't, love is not an act. We discover the love that we are and the love that everybody else is and the love that infuses everything, the love that is already there through our willingness to discover it. And that is very different than loving somebody in the sense that the separate self would have of that. The separate self seems to think that love is owed it, as if it could miss love in the first place, as if it could be denied love in the first place. It seems to think that love can be taken away from it. And if you think in these terms, if you're having thoughts like this, and we all do, whenever we think we're in a position of lack or injustice or somebody else is wrong, these are the types of thoughts that are occurring. But if you can just hear them as if they're voiced by a temptation, not by you, by a temptation to believe that you are separate. Because at one time, we're going to use the basis of time to explore this, knowing that love is beyond time. At one time, you decided, let's have this experience of separation. But at many times along the experience, you were thinking, what I need is my suffering gone. What I need is the love that soothes me, not knowing that you were it and you were the source of all of it. And all the conditions that appear to be outside of us are kind of bouncing out from within us, out into experience where they're experienced. And we think of it as a kind of a loop. So it comes out from within you. And then here it is, an experience. And you're experiencing something, and if you don't know it's come from you because of a decision, then when the experience is up here, apparently outside of you, you might judge, blame, feel victimized, treat that thing as if it is something you are not. And then it comes back down. Will it lead to a repeated experience of suffering? If you think that anything comes from outside of you, then yes. But once you have a true willingness to understand what love is, not something that you give and receive as a commodity, but something that just is and can never be taken away and can never, there isn't anybody who isn't love. It can never be not the identity of somebody else. And once you see that everywhere, then you really have to wake up when you're in the middle of a situation and you want to go back to the old temptation of, this is outside of me, I'm being victimized by this is unfair, this is the other person's fault, I am in a state of lack, I have always had this lack. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm not that sort of person, maybe you're another sort of person who gives into other temptations, which might come up in the form of, this is wrong, I know it's right, I am the fixer, I am very successful, I will apply my might and my focus to fix this now. It's still a sense of wrongdoing, somebody being wrong, and having to apply a solution to what is wrong. If if you have a willingness to look down very, 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 very deep to the roots of it, to the root of what is, there is nothing that is not love. And if you're willing to just sit and see it on that basis and let all the panic go and all the voices that tell you, but no, 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 I have to see what's wrong so I can fix it. I have to see what's wrong so I can fix it. I mean, if you look at this world, you can find so many things that you are supposed to fix because it's wrong and it's somehow your fault or their fault or somebody should fix it, right? This sense of universal panic and anxiety. What does that lead to? Look around us. What does that lead to in our daily lives and in the world? So if instead we can just sit and invite ourselves to remember all of this is coming from me, not me separated from you. There's only one of us. And all experience emerges from us and returns to us. And if when we're in the midst of that experience, if we remember that rootedness in love and that exploration we went on purpose, then our responses during those situations and experiences, not our reactions. Reactions come from being rooted in anxiety. I should know about this. I mean, I experience it. Um, so I'm not claiming to be beyond the experience of anxiety, but I can hear myself tuning into that anxiety, physically tensing up, becoming defensive, starting to blame. I can see all that happening, and I know it's a choice. I know that it is listening to those tempting thoughts that would tempt me over to an identity that has never been mine. It's been an experiential medium, and as such, it is neutral and doesn't need to be judged or condemned, but it is not the truth. If you go searching long enough and hard enough, you just know it's not the truth. And then you can settle back down into who you really are, which is something very simple. I've been saying this during all my videos. It's very simple. So that's what I'm doing day to day. Just returning to the simplicity, returning to the simplicity, returning to the simplicity. And I've had some interesting situations coming up, some situations I didn't predict, and that frightened me. But through this, I'm just returning to the simplicity, to the simplicity, to the simplicity, and everything seems to be going just fine. So I hope you're doing well, and wishing us all well, and that we stay stable in the simplicity of what we are.